Napoleon Bonaparte. This name echoes through history. A man of short stature, yes, but with ambition that knew no bounds. Born in Corsica, a small island in the Mediterranean, who could have predicted his rise? He wasn't born into royalty, no silver spoon for young Napoleon. But destiny, it seemed, had other plans. He was a military prodigy, his mind, a trap for tactics and strategy. He devoured books on warfare, dreaming of battles and conquests, and conquer he did. He rose through the ranks of the French army with astonishing speed, his talent impossible to ignore. He was ambitious, ruthless even, but oh so effective. Napoleon wasn't content with simply being a general. He wanted it all. The French Revolution had left France in chaos, and Napoleon saw an opportunity. In a swift seizure of power, he crowned himself Emperor of France. The year was 1804, and Europe would never be the same. But even emperors, it seems, can have bad days. Days when even the best-laid plans go astray. And sometimes, the culprit is a fluffy, long-eared creature with a penchant for carrots. Napoleon's early military career was a whirlwind of victories. Italy, Egypt, Austria, he conquered them all. His armies were relentless, his tactics innovative and devastating. He was a master of maneuver, always keeping his enemies off balance. The Battle of Austerlitz in 1805 is considered his masterpiece. He outmaneuvered a larger combined force of Austrian and Russian troops. The victory was decisive, cementing Napoleon's reputation as a military genius. He was the master of Europe, it seemed, invincible on the battlefield. But Napoleon's ambition was a double-edged sword. He craved more victories, more territory, more power. His desire to expand his empire would lead him into disastrous campaigns in Russia and Spain. And then there was the small matter of the rabbits. The year was 1807. Napoleon, fresh from a string of victories, decided to celebrate with a grand hunt. A hunt worthy of an emperor. He invited his top generals and foreign dignitaries. The stage was set for a display of imperial power and prowess. What better way to impress than with a grand display of hunting skills? A large contingent of rabbits had been gathered for the hunt. The plan was simple. Release the rabbits, let the hunters, including Napoleon, unleash their hunting prowess and enjoy the spectacle. However, someone had blundered. Instead of wild hares used to evading predators, the organizers had procured tame rabbits. These were rabbits used to being fed, petted, not hunted. As the cages were opened, a strange thing happened. The rabbits didn't hop away in fear. Instead, they surged towards Napoleon and his entourage in a fluffy, wriggling wave. The hunters were caught completely off guard. Section 4. Outfoxed by fluffballs, Napoleon's unlikely retreat. The sight of hundreds of bunnies swarming toward the emperor was more comical than intimidating. The hunters, used to facing down charging cavalry and volleys of musket fire, were utterly disarmed. The rabbits swarmed over everything. Napoleon, the great military strategist, found himself overwhelmed by a tide of fluffy bunnies. His entourage scattered, some laughing hysterically, others tripping over themselves in their haste to escape the furry onslaught. Imagine the humiliation, the emperor who had stared down the armies of Europe, reduced to beating a hasty retreat from an army of fluffy bunnies. Accounts differ on the details. Some say Napoleon took it in good humor, chuckling at the absurdity of it all. Others claim he was furious, his pride wounded by this unexpected defeat. Section 5. The Emperor and the Empire of Bunnies, a humorous legacy. The rabbit incident became a legend, whispered and chuckled about in the halls of power. It served as a reminder that even the most powerful individuals can be brought low by the most unexpected of circumstances. For some, it was a harmless anecdote, a funny story about a moment of levity. But others saw a deeper meaning. Was it a sign that Napoleon, for all his military genius, was not invincible? Was it a portent of his eventual downfall? Whatever the interpretation, the rabbit incident has secured its place in the annals of history, a bizarre footnote in the life of one of the world's most famous figures. The rabbits, of course, cared little for Napoleon's ambition or his empire. They continued to hop and nibble, oblivious to the chaos they had caused. And perhaps that is the greatest irony of all. Even in the face of overwhelming power, a little bit of absurdity can prevail.